Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? How's the start of your year so far? How's it going, everyone? How are you? How are you? Hello, boss Zanayir. How's it going? I still have to figure out a way for bringing messages from Instagram to the chat. Okay, we are starting just now. Javed Ishaq says Happy New Year and well wishes for a new year. Likewise, thank you so much. Same to you as well. I think a lot of you are just starting off the new year on YouTube, right? I was also watching some YouTube videos just a few minutes ago. Assalamu alaikum, Ahsan bhai. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. How's it going? Happy New Year to you too, 10 men MCE1, if I say it right. Could you tell me more about the environment effects of AI and its usage? I think the environmental effects are debatable at the moment. There is a mixed analysis overall, but it's definitely expensive. It's not too healthy for the environment. That's my position at the moment. What are your thoughts? Excuse me. I'm still not too well. I'm gonna try to speak a bit, but I also want to be able to finish some things that I had in mind, especially um, just preparing some tasks for some upcoming videos. I can also show, by the way, some N10 automations that I recently implemented. Unfunny Ayaz, hello boss. Hello to you too. How's it going? Let's see. I'm gonna try to bring in the chat. Where's chat stream? Here is a stream. By the way, anyone who is understanding Urdu or Hindi, you can essentially look at the React course. I'm gonna hide it just now. I wasn't planning on marketing this at the moment. Let's see if I can hide it. You can find all the courses, etc. On my website. This should not be shown at the moment. Anfania says, hi, how do you see Django developer career? It's good. It's not too bad. Python Django has a lot of use cases still. Tenman says, I have to agree personally. Yeah, absolutely. It's the usage of AI is more or less the same as the usage of, for example, petrol or diesel. It has its consequences. But the fact is that the industry is not really stopping at that. They're trying to find a solution around it. But essentially, I think what is being perceived as is that the benefits are in real near term, while the consequences may be a bit far in the future. I think that's what the industry says so far, at least. Hamid Jamal says, is data analysis skill still demanded in 2026? Yes, it is. The easiest way of finding if a skill is still valuable or not is just try to find jobs on linkedin.com. By the way, does anyone of you know how do you find a job using Gemini? Has anyone tried that? Because I was thinking about creating a video on that. A quick short, maybe. Code with Ahsan.dev. There we go. And by the way, if any one of you is looking for a different course or book that you have not looked at before, from my portfolio or from my published stuff, you can see the code right there. Just scan it and you can see all of them. I can also show, I can show you the AI Studio thing. Give me 1 second. I'll try to add the screen. Let me see if I can. I'll try to find quickly. Yeah, the window. I have too many tabs open. Yes. Code with Nix joined. Hello there. I'm gonna try to share my window now. Window. AI Studio. Let's hope this shows the right one. Yeah, I think it does. That's fine. Window and then AI Studio. So here on AI Studio, you can go ahead and create a new chat. When you go to aistudio.google.com, then you can, or you just go to ai.dev, which is a shortcut. When you go there, you come to this page, you pick chat with models, and from the right side, you should be picking Gemini Flash Preview, or just Gemini 3 Flash, or Gemini 3 Pro Preview, either of those. And then I have a prompt that you can paste here. I don't know a quick way right now to share that, but maybe I'll just create a link and then share in the community in the Discord. But here you need to do some sort of prompt engineering. So here you're first giving it a persona, the AI. You're telling it that you are an expert technical recruiter and a career coach. And then I'm giving a context. I'm a software architect actively looking for a new role. Let's say I'm saying my target location is Sweden, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. And then I'm mentioning my core technical hard skills like front-end, architecture, AI integration, software design, Angular, React. You can, of course, replace with your skills. Then you go ahead and you say, what are your soft skills? For example, I'm saying leading teams, mentoring junior developers, presenting and documenting architecture, diagram, and decisions. Then what is my preferred industry? I'm mentioning healthcare, software as a service, or education. And then this is task. This essentially remains the same, more or less. You do need to put the location as I mentioned previously. So here the target location is here. And then you also mention it here somewhere. Let's see. Or maybe there was a place and yeah, here. So here we have a placeholder for location and then the industry. So you just replace here. And even if you don't, it's smart enough to find it. No problem. Gemini is good enough. So when you do that, you can essentially make sure that this feature, grounding with Google search, this is turned on. This is important if you want to find jobs in real time using Google search, of course. What we are asking it to do is to find these opportunities, having the role and title there, company identification, and then also the result or the output. So here you can see that we are searching for 3 currently active job listings that match the criteria. Here you could say, I don't know, 10 instead of 3. And for each listing, I'm asking it to provide the title, the company name, 1-sentence summary of why it fits my skills, direct link to apply, and then the output format, right? So here I'm mentioning it here as well. You could also go one step ahead and say, I don't know, have craft a message for me to send with my email, etc. So you could also do that as well. It depends. So anyways, once you do that, you run it and then you let it do the job. How to learn critical and analytical skills by practicing. You practice solving problems, whether um, they are problems that require coding or just logic or I don't know system design. When you keep practicing those, you essentially get better at those. There's one more thing that I can show you. If you are asking about how to build a better programming logic, etc., I built something that's on my website called CodewithAhsan.dev that you can see there. So when you go there, sorry, let me fix the link. It should be this one. So when you go there, you can click this thing called Logic Buddy, and this is an app that's available for free. You go there, and then you try to attempt different problems where you just have to define your logic or your logical thinking in English. So no coding, no syntax, no nothing. You essentially go ahead and write the pseudocode here. For example, you have different problems here. If I go to the first one, that is even or odd, like how would you check if a number is even or odd, and how would your program handle zero in this case? So you solve this, you give this your logic, yeah, or you can give this an image as well, and then it assesses based on Google Gemini. So it's a really cool tool. You can see a lot of community members are already attempting this. We have Sayyida Batul Fatma, Junaid Sultan. I've met Junaid Sultan in person in Lahore. We have Muhammad Zubair. We have Hassan, Karar Shah, Akib Nawaz. So all these people have attempted this, and they see themselves in the leaderboard. So you could try this out as well. I'm going to share this in the chat, by the way. So you can try this out, but there at the top, you can just scan and try it even on your phone. Anyways, back to excuse me. So back to the job search here. Here you can see we have a response from Gemini, which is 3 Pro. Here we have role and title expansion. So based on my seniority and specific blend of technical leadership skills, I should be looking beyond generic software architect title. These 5 often carry the responsibility level and compensation that I'm targeting. So it's not even just looking for the jobs that I wanted to look at. It's also suggesting me things that would contain being a software architect. For example, principal front-end engineer would be a nice role for me. Staff software engineer would be a nice role for me. Solutions architect would be a good role for me. And I know some of my friends here in Sweden who are solutions architects, so to say. And AWS has a lot of solutions architect as well. And I have some friends in AWS who are solution architects as well. Then technical lead could be one of the roles. Yeah, solutions architect could be one of the roles. So these are the roles that I could try to go for. And then the target company identification is also there. So now I have some companies that are there. So for example, Telavox perhaps has some opportunities. We have Presight, we have 360 Learning, Cry. Cry is a healthcare company I already know because I had an issue of that I needed help with, and I basically called Cry, which has a mobile applications. So it connects the patient and doctors via mobile. Then we have Aramco, which is in Saudi Arabia, Sectra, Elm, Learn with AI, which is also in Saudi Arabia. It's in education sector. Okay. Then we have Ooredoo in Qatar. So all of these places I mentioned in my query, and I have all of them here. And now if I go a bit down here, you can see that I have all these opportunities with their links directly to apply, right? So isn't this awesome? Can I get a yes or no in the chat? For example, we can try, let's say, let's try Learn with AI. I want to see what this takes us to. So it takes us to Crossover. So they've published it with Crossover. That doesn't work well. Let me see if the link is, okay. So it's on Crossover, more or less. So the link is not direct there. So if I go there, And if I try with learn with AI, what do I find there? So we do have a job right there, which is this one. And is this based in Saudi? Where is visit the company website? Da, 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 da. I'm checking if it got this correct or not. Products, media inquiries, humanities. Hmm. This particular link is not a direct link, so perhaps not the best job right there. Oh no, I did a scroll and it took me to all the tabs. No. Okay, where were the jobs? AI super engineer, principal AI engineer. Which was the one that it recommended me? It was software architect. Let me see if there's a job for software architect. I don't see it here. I do see principal engineer. Where is this job for? This one is it is fully remote though. Worldwide, full-time 40 hours a week. It's $100 per hour, long-term role, blah blah blah. So yes, I would say not too bad. Sorry, I'm looking at some messages as well. Sir, how many questions you have solved on lead code, GFG, etc platforms? I haven't done none. I don't do lead code. I probably would have done lead code if it was required by my career or if I saw the benefit. I've not applied to any companies that require lead code, so I have not done lead code. Shyam says, Happy New Year. Likewise, thank you. How am I? I'm still a bit sick, not completely well, but not too bad. It's okay. Hashmi says, is there any future for full stack developer if they don't move to AI path, just use AI like Copilot, etc? Full stack developers would still be required in the future because someone has to know how the back end, how the front end, how do they connect together, where is the database, how are the API keys being stored, how are the secrets being managed, how is CI/CD implemented. There are a lot of things that full stack developers do that your coding agent in your coding editor does not. So yeah, Kalimullah says absolutely yes, which means they find this useful. Karar says yes. I did not know, Karar, you're there. Javed says yes. Abdullah says yes. Sham says, how can a mid-level front-end engineer move to architect senior level? You do that by studying architecture. So you need to read more about front-end software architecture, like what are the best design patterns for certain situations. Is micro front-end a good architecture? What are the deployment strategies? How do you handle authentication? At which level? Would you put it at load balancer? How would the front end have its own architecture when it comes to where the state would live, where the authentication would live? How would you distribute different applications within a single monorepository if you had an organization which had multiple teams? How would you manage libraries which multiple applications have to share? Would you publish them on a private registry, or would you just include them within the monorepository so they are not built or not downloaded from anywhere, but just included in the source code and they are shared? So there are a lot of things that you would have to look into when it comes to the front end architecture itself, especially in terms of like separation of concerns, solid principles. So a lot of those things come into your help for that. I wanted to see one thing that is for Sweden. So Coinly does not have a careers page, or was that wrongly indexed? resources, career, calculate my taxes, career. They don't have a career page at all now. Interesting. Senior tech lead, which is in Qatar. I want to see how many pages it actually got right. Jobs. Which one was this senior technical lead? I want to see job type. No. I would say senior level. Not really. Chief financial officer, housekeeping manager, mechanical. I don't see some of the links are actually accurate, to be honest. But it could be that the indexed pages are being looked at, which could be misleading. But in the worst case, okay, this is also not working. But in the worst case, you at least know which companies you can apply with or to. Careers. Okay, so previously it was going to gbmme.com careers, and actually their pages / careers. Interesting. Benefits, culture. So at least the company is there. But sorry, view jobs. So it's a different page then. Aha, okay. Networking specialist, security architect, technology group leader, solution sale consultant. Let's see. So if you want a job in UAE, perhaps you could apply here. Interesting. Shyam says, I hope you feel better soon. Thank you. The news says yes. What does requirements to become a software architecture? I think you mean to ask, how do you become a software architect? You become a software architect by studying software architecture and then applying what you learn into actually creating applications where you use software architecture. So you need to study, excuse me, and then actually implement it, if that makes sense. By the way, for those of you who are new to the channel or you don't perhaps know, there is a huge discount that I already shared in my Discord community. This book, which is usually on at about, I think, $19. It's right now at 3.75, which is a huge deal because this is rated at, I think, 4.7, if I remember correctly. Amazon mastering Angular signals. I think that's the one. Let me quickly see. Give me 1 second. I do know there comes something that is a bit weird. Give me 1 second. Yeah, there we go. There you go. So yeah, this is the book that I published just this year. I think just a couple of months ago. And it has a 4.7 rating out of 5 and more than 13 people. And this is just the .com, Amazon.com marketplace. But obviously there are other marketplaces like Germany, UK, etc. And their ratings are there similar as well. I'm going to share the coupon here. So it's a big deal. Again, you can choose to pay as much as you want, up to 19, I think. But the idea for me was to get maximum people trying the book out or get the benefit out of it. I'm also going to add Angular signal forms to this book as well, which is one of the hottest topic in Angular. So hopefully soon as well. Karar says, literally just closed my ID after a brutal API project and landed here. It's like Algo knew my brain was fried and needed a career pivot. Yep. Sham says, I'm looking for some abroad opportunities in engineering, but it's so hard to get it since they give preference to the locals. That's right. But you never know. I think one has to just keep trying, and you have to have a really good portfolio and a good job match as well. I would say try to use AI and tools which have grounding capabilities like Gemini, so you can try to find good opportunities. And once you do, then if essentially then then you have a better chance, of course. Telavox.se. Career. Here is the career. Career.telavox.com. Decline non-essential. Anyways, so yeah, there. That's that's that. And also, there's a if someone who is absolute beginner, this is a book I'm about to publish really soon. We will have a huge discount on this one as well, especially for the people who are starting out. I think we are going to start at around $9.9, something like this, and then we'll take it from there. I'm going to share the link in the chat, but there you can basically scan the code as well. But essentially, here you just fill this form, and I have then your email. So when you want to essentially get notified, and when I launch the book, I have to get its cover done, and it's being reviewed by someone that I know who works at Mercedes-Benz IO. So he's a senior developer as well, really good. His name is Asad. So I'm going to get this reviewed and then publish it finally. It has been reviewed by a couple of more people before as well. Do you have courses published in any platforms? I would love to join. If you understand Urdu/Hindi, then you can look at the courses on my website. So my website has an implementation of courses, so to say. So when you go here, you can pick a course, join it, and then you can watch, because all of these are YouTube videos, but then you lose track of where you are. So I built this myself in Next.js. But essentially, let's say you go to, I don't know, activity, set up your PC for web development, for example. So here you see like the whole chapters. You can go inside chapters. You can pick a particular lecture, and it essentially runs the particular YouTube video of that lecture. Excuse me. And then if you have, let's say, finished watching one, then you can just mark as completed, and then just move ahead to the next one, for example. So here you'll also see this tick mark when you're done with a particular lecture. And then if you wanted to comment, you can see here we have a lot of comments from other people on YouTube, so you can also comment, see your name here as well. So this is one platform where I have my courses. This one is absolutely free. It's a web development basics. If you want to look at the full stack TypeScript and Angular one, you can look at this one. This is also based on a YouTube course. So this essentially breaks down the whole course into different parts or sections. And then if you want to learn, for example, React.js from scratch, then it's this one is also one of those. Not all of that is in Hindi. This one is in Hindi, as it mentions here. This one also is in Hindi, but for example, Angular in 90 minutes, this one is in English. Then this one, full stack, this is English. The Modern Stack crash course for full stack development, this one is in English. I can't remember how many people have watched this. I think I can't remember the whole number. Let's see if we can find it. I do remember there were a lot. Yeah, about 24,000 people. But I think this one is not as popular as the Angular one, because that is, I think, 500,000, if I remember correctly, or more than that, if I remember correctly. Yeah, you can see here it's about to cross 600,000 views. So it's just 1 year old. If you're interested in Angular, this is the course. And obviously, you can understand how many people learned from this. And the other one that I have is the React one. Oh, I have not put it here. I should probably do that. Anyways, the React in 90 minutes. Oh, interesting. I actually come around the top for this course. This one is just 1 month old, and it already has like 6.2 thousand. So I'm going to share it in the chat as well. But if you want to learn React in 90 minutes, this is the one. I'm working on something for Next.js now. Hopefully, we'll be publishing soon. So you can also look into that as well. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's actually move towards, because I wanted to actually work on something which is related to Angular. What happened here? Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Interesting. Then why? Why do we have this int sol? What? Let me actually see if we have an issue with. Okay, we do have package JSON. So let's see. Do we have node modules? No, we don't. Let's see. The thing is, we are running this 21.1.0, which is not good. We should be at this, or we would have to go with 21. Sorry, the next one. So here we are saying could not resolve dependency, Angular code, this one from Angular ARIA, because it's trying to get it to this particular one, which we are at not. So let's try this. Npm uninstall Angular ARIA. We're gonna have to do legacy peer. Or do we want AI to do this? What do you think? Should I do it manually or let AI do this? We want to see if Gemini can fix it or not. I could try it myself and then let Gemini do it. Angular, sorry. Let's see if this has the same package. 21. Let's see if I can do 21.1.0 next. Legacy peer depths. So let's see if I can run this. Oh, sorry. I'm not sharing my screen. Sorry. I thought I am sharing the right thing, but I'm definitely not. Screen. Now you should be able to. But let's see if I. What was this guy? That's a different one. Anyways. So what I wanted to do was this actually. Shyam says, I'm a React guy learning Angular, gives me any edge as and people are learning Svelte or Vue. I don't think so, unless you want to work in big companies where it's quite likely that people are coming from the background of not TypeScript, Java or C#, and then they can easily work on Angular. So that's why they pick Angular in this case. So you'll see a lot of big companies working with Angular. Why you again? Happy New Year to you as well. How's it going? Altaf says, sir, please come up with scaling videos. I mean, what strategies? Scaling videos? Aha, scaling. Please make videos on it along with some debugging techniques. I have a friend who works at AWS. I have some plans of working with him, hopefully. So we'll have some videos with that. Start a Python course, says Wazir Ali. I'm not a Python developer, sorry. I can create Python applications, but I'm not a Python expert. We can only see. Karar says, I can't see your ID. I think I fixed it. Good, good. Okay, so we're good, I think. So let's say I'm going to say install and sorry, we're having some issues with Angular Aria, especially with dependencies conflicting. I removed it. See the staged changes. No, see the active changes in the code in the repository. Let's fix it. And I'm going to change my camera. I think my camera just died. And what is it looking at? I think this is much better. Alhamdulillah. All right, so let's let Gemini fix this thing. All right, so it sees that I've removed the ARIA from package.json. It's examining the demo component, and then we'll fix it when the time comes. We can use Gemini here. We can also ask Antigravity actually. So if I wanted, I could also go here and ask the Gemini 3 Pro or Flash from here to fix the thing as well. But anyways, let's try with Gemini CLI for now. Altaf says, sir, one generic question. Why most QAs are promoted to PM in startups, so why not devs? That's not true. I've worked with companies where QAs have been promoted to PM, but also developers have become product managers or project managers or technical lead or what do you call it? Competence lead, accountability lead. There's so many. So, but yeah, so they do have. What is it doing? I'll fix it. Building refactoring, since it was removed. No. So it's thinking that I've removed the package, so it's replacing with lightweight standard Angular implementation. I don't want to do that. So no suggest changes. I want to use Angular Aria. So install it and fix the conflicting dependencies. It's like, you see what's happening. I'm telling it to fix something, and then it's saying, let me just remove your implementation. No, I don't want to do that. Harun says, being a vibe coder, which Google model would you suggest for coding? I would definitely say Gemini 3 Pro. So Gemini 3 Pro in Antigravity on the high side. Wazir says, sir, how do we improve our logic and also how we use Gen AI? Alhamdulillah. I think I answered this question, but I'll do it again. To improve the logic, you need to practice. So if you go to CodewithAhsan.dev, you'll see here it says check out the new logic buddy to practice building programming logic. You click that, and then you go to this particular page. So here you do have a logic buddy, essentially, which is AI, and you can solve these problems by just giving it the pseudocode. Like, how would you solve a problem? For example, if I go back to the previous one, here is even or odd. So here it's saying write a logic to check if a number is even or odd. If the user enters 4, it should say even. If -5, it's odd. How would your program handle 0? So here you can basically type in English. You can say divide the number by 2 if the remainder let's say if the remainder is 0, then you have an even number. Also, if the number in question is 0, it is an even number. Otherwise, odd. So I'm writing something, I don't know, around 9:30 without having my tea. So it might be just, I don't know. So here I say start assessment. So it starts looking at the assessment, and now it's using Gemini behind the scenes. So have a look at what happens now. Yay! So you see all the confetti. Psh, you solved it. Submit your score as Mohammed Hassan Ayaz, and then I can submit my score. And when I do this, you'll see my name here. Ooh, just around Junaid Sultan. So Junaid, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, you're not behind me. I don't know why, but we both have the same score. But anyways, you see here, why is this a good logic? So why was my thinking correct? So here it's saying exactly the same thing. So if you divide it by 0, then you can check the evenness or oddness of integers. Then it's also giving you a code of what the programming code should look like. So if the number divided by 2 it's completely 0, then it's even, else it's odd. This is clean readable. And then here also you can check even a next level of approach as well that it's suggesting. Okay, anyways, now I can move to the next um, next sort of examples, and I can jump the leaderboard. You can see Akib Nawaz from our Discord community is at the top at the moment. Harun says, thank you so much, sir, for answering. No problem. Sagittarius007 says, bro, it's a new year. What are you doing? I'm doing what I do every day. It's the new year is not like a special day for me. It's the same as 365 days. Sagittarius says, don't act smart, just go and enjoy life. Don't pretend like a nerd. I'm not pretending anything, and I'm enjoying it. My enjoyment might not be perceived as enjoyment by you, but it doesn't mean I'm not enjoying. It's funny how people think that they know exactly what the other person is feeling or thinking. Is this kind of prompt evaluation? Yes. So what happens is that it essentially looks at this, the answer that I'm giving, it passes it to Gemini. Gemini already knows this is the problem that we are talking about, and then it kind of looks at something that we call pseudocode. So the pseudocode is just your logical thinking, like step 1, step 2, step 3. I'm writing that in English, and I'm not really writing in code. So that's what we used to do in universities. For example, the first sort of subject that I had in university was introduction to programming, introduction to computer programming, I think it's called, if I remember correctly. Something like that. Anyways, in that we learned algorithms. And fun fact, algorithms is a sort of westernized word for Al-Khwarizmi, who basically invented the algorithms, and he was a Muslim. A lot of people don't really know. But yes, this is prompt evaluation. But you just write your logic here, and then it evaluates it. Da, 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 da. So is Gemini free for student in Pakistan? If yes, then how do we avail this? I think yes, there was some sort of announcement there. Gemini Pakistan free students. So what you do is you just Google. You Google it. Here you can see Gemini the Google students, and here if you go to, yeah, here I think start the trial period. Not really, but I think students. Yep. Pop, 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 pop. I think what you have to do is you have to use your own email, which is your student email, to sign up. And as soon as you do so, you should have. Here it says, I've signed up for the 12-month student offer. What happens if I forget to cancel it? Right? So here you use your Google Gemini, sorry, your student email. Karar says, do you have a blog or video about your journey? I like diving into stories of people who actually achieved this. Achieved what exactly? One more thing, guide about rules when we are writing a prompt, like goal, aims. There's a guide, I think it's called prompt engineering guide from Google. Something like this. Here, what is prompt engineering? So here, look at this link that I've sent in the chat, and you can see it right there. So you can see the link. Just go through this. Like what are the type of prompts? How do we do prompt engineering? What are the benefits of prompt engineering? All of this is just open there. There are also guides available. I think someone had a Google Drive guide as well. It was something here. That's the one. How to start learning fast. Where was the guide? Here. Yeah, this is the one. I'm sharing the link in the chat. Hello, Jimmy. How's it going? So this is the prompt engine guide that Lee Boonstra basically dropped. It's a really good one. I would say just bookmark this, as I'm going to do right now. And I'm going to put it in AI so I can come back to it. So definitely worth the try. The title, Software Architect Code with Ahsan. I don't have a blog, I think, per se, that has the whole story of what I did and, the whole thing, because it's too much. But yeah, I mean, if you have a question, you can definitely ask and we can expand on top of it. That's what the streams are for. I don't usually brag about the little achievements that I have. Jimmy says 1 month ago, Google gave 12 months AI Pro free for students. Yes. Yes, they did. I think this is still valid. But someone has to use their proper student email for this. Okay, so here, notice what they did. The problem with sharing in this view is essentially that I can't. Let me see if I can share my anti-gravity. Just images to. Let's see. Maybe, just maybe, this is better. Is this better? I think this is much better, right? You see the anti-gravity, but then I have to switch. But that's fine. I'll keep changing it. But here now you can see the problem that we had was just a conflict in dependencies, and now with Gemini it's being solved. So if I build it, it should be fine. Harun says, one last thing, I'm doing serving as a backend and AI lead from past 4 years in USA fintech. Now our most of products are in Angular v19. Would you give me a small roadmap of how I would be full stack? I would say start building on the side small projects that include I don't know, a database, some sort of backend, some sort of API calls, etc., etc. If you want to try out some projects while having fun building them as well, and using Angular, of course, then I can share with you 2 different courses that I have, which are on YouTube, absolutely free, of course. Let me see if I can I can try this thing where I can show my browser. I'm gonna try to share my screen. No, I can't really replace share my screen. Anyways, let me try to find a way to. I think this is the one. Alhamdulillah. Anyways, so I was talking about what exactly? I was talking about the courses. Yes. So if you go to my YouTube channel, so try to find Code with Us and you'll find me. It's very easy. If I go to my channel, if I go to my videos or courses, essentially, if you go to courses, especially, you will see. Why doesn't it show that? I have to perhaps fix this. This is not good. I do have courses. Okay, so that's a problem I need to fix. Anyways, so I was talking about the course where we have this Angular full stack e-commerce application. So I don't know. I think I can share the link in the chat. Maybe, maybe not. So I've shared a link in Instagram, but I don't think you'll see it or be able to click that. But essentially, go to CodewithAhsan videos. Try to find this Angular full stack e-commerce application. At the end of this course, you end up building a whole e-commerce application, which not only has like some products, but you can add the products to the cart. Here is what I'm showing you. So you have these plush, squeaky toy, all of these products. You can add them to the cart and you'll see the number grow as well. For example, here, let's see if I can. So here you see the number increases. You can go to the cart, see the items in the cart. You can go and then pay with Stripe. It actually takes you to Stripe. And then you have the Stripe sandbox there. But essentially, you have everything there, including the database. The database is also live. So start this one, deploy this, test it out, and yeah, you can see here everything works as advertised, so to say. Someone is saying, sir, give us some FYP idea which is unique, which need minimal AI, means have a model which need less data into train. Do you want me to do your degree for you? I don't think so. No. I would just say go to any AI tool like Claude, ChatGPT, and ask the same questions, and it will probably give you better answers than me. And do the same constraints with that as well. Like say the least usage of AI, etc., etc. I think that should be good. I'm gonna change my screen share. Oh no! Wait. Sorry. Region, select region. What's happening? It's not what I wanted to share. Share. I think. I think I know. So on the browser, I would have to. If I go to demo, let's see. I'm going to say share screen, tie screen region. In Linux, you have to do this twice for security reasons, as per my research so far. So it's exactly not what I wanted to do. Wait, no. Stop screen sharing. Start screen sharing. Entire screen. Region, select the region. Then I go click here. I select a region. Then I go and do this again. Share. Go to region. Select a region. And then I do this again. Da, 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 da. Yes or no? Okay, finally. Good. So I was talking about this. So now I can essentially change my tabs and you can still see those. Good. Anyways, so now we have this fixed with Gemini. Now we're gonna try to run this, and we're gonna open a new tab. Just run npm start because I want to create a video on this one. So let's say localhost 4200. Here we have there was signals versus zone, but I wanted to do one thing, that is, if I go to my app config ts here, I do want to do it not in here, but in a particular component. So here, let's see, provides a change detection without zone just for the application bootstrap using bootstrap application. Now the thing is, I actually want to do this not just in a component, but I want to do it in sorry, I don't want to do this on the application level. I want to do this on the component level, and that is going to be a bit of a trouble. Looking at the messages, Jimmy says, I'm a full stack React Node.js full stack dev in 2026. Should I focus on more front end? But I also have an idea to change to DevOps. What is your advice? I mean, it depends on what you like more. If you really want to go into DevOps, then you can, but then you obviously have to look for the right jobs, etc. But if you want to continue being a full stack developer, then the jobs are already there, so they're not ending, so to say, if that makes sense. Okay, so I wanted to see one thing, and that is 5 messages. So here we do have the zone check and the signal check doing the double. When we go with zone, it does give a console there. When we go with signals, it gives both zone and signal. I think there is a problem with the implementation. Let's see. Control flow, not the control flow, zoneless. In here, and if I remember correctly, this was being used by Force CDR. Okay. So when we are actually changing this, the values are changing. Nope. This is the one zone. Signals versus zone is a different one. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong example. The UI would only reflect when we have this guy, which kind of makes sense. But the other one that we had about zones versus signals. So here is the one. Okay, so we have a get here. We don't want to do computed here. Wait. Modern signals approach. We have signal count. Blah blah blah. I'm sorry. Why are we still using? We are using Zone.js in here for some reason. But we shouldn't be then using. But we are not really using Zone.js in that case. I don't think we need to have this, to be honest, and not effect as well. Let's see. Okay. I think the problem is because we are using the getter function. That is why we have a problem there. I'm thinking. I'm thinking if we don't really use the getter function, or we have a way of actually showing the double in this case. And then we use the double right here. And I don't think I have the Angular language extension. Install. Yeah, now it's much better. Even if we are doing something like, I don't know, counter into 2, something like this, right? Counter into 2. Let's see what happens here. This is fine, right? So if I go here and if I try to change the values here, sorry, what just happened? You see, we don't really see the logs again. I'm seeing bot messages on Twitch. Okay, so we get the doubles here. Oh, because we're not really logging the values. Okay, makes sense. But then the problem should, so we do have the on push here, and we do have the double here. So if I go ahead with zone check, it does the job. Why does it calculate? I want to check something. If I go ahead to my config and I go ahead and I remove it. Let's see. Let me add a button to it. Increment signal, but I also want to have a button. I don't know, after here. And let's say, no, I don't think increment zone, but I don't know. I would say dummy click. Then I go here, implement this here. Now let's say, what is happening here? Where's my button? Sorry, where's my button? So if I click this guy, you can see we have dummy click, but then zone as well. Then if I say zone check, ba 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 ba, and you can see calculating again, right? So this is what I wanted to show. If I want to signal, it still does the zone check, which is fine. But if I want to go to being zoneless like this, then what I should be checking is something like this. So if I do dummy click, this should not happen. So the question becomes, am I passing zone.js somewhere or no? It's becoming a bit confusing now. Let's see. Okay, I have to check one thing. Where is this components? The chain detection strategy is on push. Kind of makes sense. Then if I look at the component itself, you have the legacy zone, blah blah blah. Not really checking anything apart from this. No. Config server, provide server-side rendering. And we got the first here we are saying provide zoneless. Okay, then I think I understand. It is still doing the mark for check thing, and essentially that's why showing the results. So if I still do this, it marks it for checking, even though it just does a console log. But it wouldn't do it if we had some sort of set interval, for example. So let's try this out. If I go to signals component, right, and let's say we're gonna start with something simple. So we'll say set interval, and then here we can say 1000, and then not that. So dummy click, right? Just gonna put the dummy click right here. This dot, and here we can say something like dummy interval equals, and then we can clear the interval, and then we go here, we create for now. Then we try this. So we start with this. So here now we don't really see zone.js triggering change detection here, right? I want to also do one thing here, that if this dummy interval, dummy interval is already there, then I want to just clear the interval, and then return as well. Wait, what am I doing here? Return clear interval. Otherwise, it's gonna start the interval. So let's see. We refresh this guy. We start with the dummy click now. So it starts with the dummy click. It just is doing that, but it's not really changing or updating anything yet. If I click this, it just says zone check, good. If I say increment signal, then the zone check and signal is also working. Now we're gonna try to do something different. We're gonna first, let's try stopping it. So I stop it. Now it's stopping. Now I'm gonna go to the app config, and I'm gonna remove this guy. And now let's try this once again. So if I go here, now this should not cause, now this should cause the zone check as well. So if I say increment zone, we got the zone check. But if I do dummy click, but now even if it's doing set interval, it's console logging it, but it's not really checking this guy. Oh, because we are using on push. Okay. But that's because we are using on push. So if you change this guy to a normal change detection, then we have a problem. So we start with this guy, and then we do this, which is normal, and then we start with this guy. Oh, but then we don't. But is that because we have? Well, I'll try restarting it. Am I missing something? Is it caching issue or what's happening? Let me also try one thing. No HMR. Okay, let's try this. So we start with this, we say dummy click. The first time it does do it, but then the dummy click comes in. Then this one also, but it doesn't then recalculate this, which is interesting. I'm going to keep the on push out. Okay, now I realize I was looking at it at the wrong way. No. So if anything, obviously, if anything changes in there, then it's going to have, if any property changes, then it has to do it. But then we don't need all of this magic. Let's remove this, and let's remove this. But then I'm looking at, is this going to really show some value there or not? Let's see. It wouldn't then make a difference at all, but I think just from the code's perspective, it would do the changes. Makes sense. I want to also do one thing. Oh no, but I actually understand now. Okay. So the difference, or the example to be shown here, is essentially when you update the zone values, you only see the zone check, right? The signals value is never calculated. But if you try to go with the signals approach, you also see the normal values updated. That's why signals are a bit better, because if you change other things, this guy doesn't get updated. That was the thing that went away from my mind. So we looked at that. We looked at also the zoneless stuff. This is also good. Control flow was also good as well. Scrolls, yeah, this was also good. Signal forms were good as well. And then we had the AI audit, but we don't have the API key for this one, but I'm going to add that in a bit. And then we had the ARIA. This was the most important one. So I could go to options just by using my keyboard and without using a mouse. And then also I could go to the other one, like this and this. This is like pure ARIA. I like it. But yeah, I think then that's it. Then I don't have to worry about that. Kamran Khan says, nice work. Thank you. Yeah, then I would I have to create a video on this. So that's the thing. I'll see if the API key thing can be sorted out, because I obviously won't want to push that. So that's one of the things that I need to look into. What kind of username is that? Naga Fatman since 13090266. What are we creating here? I'm looking into Angular 21 and some updates. So I created some demos that I wanted to highlight in an upcoming video. But yes, and in this one we also had an AI example using Gemini. So when we have this working, you would see a content and the audit report, how easy it is to read, how hard is it to read using the Hemingway technique, for example. And it also uses the resource API and the link signal as well. There's a lot going on in this example in general. Ooh, what happened to the... Okay. Am I using the right one? Let's see. Adil Javi says, after React, JS is shifting towards Flutter. Good decision, or should I just be in the React ecosystem? It depends on what kind of jobs do you want to do. If you want to be a footballer, you learn football. If you want to be a If you want to keep working as a carpenter, then you keep working as a carpenter. It depends on if you want to work with React in the future. I would say just keep it simple and do that. Easy peasy. The scope is equal, I would say, for both of them. So there's not much difference. We do have Flutter, who has a lot of projects, implications, opportunities, all of that. Let's quickly figure out if we have anything that is not correct in the repository. So let's use Gemini for this for now. So we're gonna ask Gemini, find any unused imports and remove them from the Angular files. Sorry about that. Behruz, how's it going? Happy New Year to you as well. How are you? Is that thing charged? Yes, it is. No problem, Adam. No problem at all. Find source name TS. I'm gonna move to accepting edits so we can also see them later on. I needed to look into two projects. Now that I remember, there were one was with Next.js and one was this Angular one. How's everyone doing in the chat? Are you excited for the new year? Do you have any good plans? Any cool ambitions you want to share? Any good books you're about to read? Okay, so you see we did have some things in here. So in the AI audit component, we did have a few unused ones. But weren't we using link signal in there? I thought we were using. But then we have to fix it. But does it also fix, wait a second. It does remove it. Okay. What just happened? What did I press? Okay. Okay. But the components, UI mentions. To use them. What Naga says, suggest me some of the basic but important libraries in Python to create a self-learning AI. Not a beginner level, but yeah, I'm not pro either. I would say look into Google's agent development kit. If you Google agent development kit for beginners, it's quite likely that you'll end up with my YouTube playlist or see me somewhere there. Let's see. Google Agent Development Kit Beginners Tutorial YouTube. Let's see if we see my name anywhere in there. Okay, so the first link is actually me. So you can look into this one. Build your first AI agent with Google. I'm gonna copy the link, share in the chat. I don't know if you can access it or not, but yes. So try it with this library, and you're able to generate your own AI agents, so to say. But self-learning AI, I don't know. Self-learning AI, it's like you're asking to create a spaceship with Python libraries. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Okay, so what did it come up with? Let's see. Okay, I will use the read file used to inspect blah blah blah. Then it says I will refactor this in signal to the imports. Then I replace the status signal declaration in the manual effects information with link signal. Okay, I made a mistake in expecting two replacement for the import. It's fine. Now I replace the stimulated status. So we did have a status signal which was unsaved. Aha! So it's using, okay, so it's using it correctly then. So whenever we have a new content, the status becomes unsaved. So that's smart. Okay, so this shouldn't be there. Okay, good. Good. All right, good. So the linked signal implementation now is actually correct. Naga says, oh sure, thanks buddy, appreciate it, no problem. Good, so let's quickly add that, and we're gonna push it. We're gonna push it. Do we have our React in 90-ish here in this repository? I think it is. I think it should be here actually. Let me close all of these. Server. But are these my... No, but these... Okay, I've not really pushed the Next.js one. So that means I am missing the Next.js files here. Have you looked into my React.js tutorial actually? Let's see if I can find it. Or let's see if I can get rid of what I have here and actually have my correct one. You know what I'm thinking? Maybe I'll end the stream. Let's see. It's almost 10:20. I'm someone who sleeps around 8 or 9. So I'll probably sleep and wake up a bit early tomorrow, and try to, because I have two things that I want to do. I have this Angular 21 video that I need to do, and then also there's one Next.js as well. So maybe in the new year you'll have a whole big Next.js tutorial in 90-ish minutes from me, which would contain like all the basic concepts that you need to learn. Server components, server-side rendering, static generation, I don't know, examples about file routing, creating routes, grouping, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to be fun. I have the application already working in my laptop, which is not my PC. So we'll see where that takes us. But anyways, I think we can end it. I want to remind you folks about the books and the courses. There is a huge discount on the books at the moment until January 5th. Then the book that's mastering Angular signals, that would go back to normal, and that would be not at the 75% discount, so to say. But having said that, anyways, thank you for joining. Thank you for all the comments that you did. I know a lot of people who follow me are asleep right now, and you are still here. So I hope you had some fun, learned a few things, asked a few questions. With that said, as always, happy coding. I'm going to see you next time. Take care.